Coming up on today's show, a new study shows that keeping a coal-fired power station running costs more than operating new wind and solar power farms. Deliveries of the Tesla Model 3 standard range get pushed back for an unknown reason, and winter testing of the Porsche Taycan shows that it won't have regenerative braking on throttle liftoff. These stories and more coming next. Welcome back to another roundup in the world of cleaner transportation and energy. It's been an absolutely crazy week here, and I'm more than ready for the weekend. But first, let's try and look at everything that's happened this week. The US has now officially entered the coal cost crossover, a point where it costs more to keep coal-fired power stations running than it is to build renewable generation solutions. So says Energy Innovation, an organisation devoted to accelerating progress in clean energy through smart policies. It's just released a report detailing how coal plants can be replaced by local renewables for less than it costs to keep those plants running, without any drop in power output. Doing so would make the electricity grid cleaner, but it won't make the current US president happy, as he's a known coal fan. In just 2 days' time, the US federal tax credits for Chevrolet plug-in cars will fall from $7,500 to $3,750, just as it did back in January for Teslas. That's because Chevy has passed its 200,000th plug-in sale at the end of last year. Unlike Tesla, however, which dropped the price of its new cars to compensate for the falling federal tax credit, GM says it won't be dropping the sticker price of its cars, meaning anyone who buys a new Bolt EV after April 1st will effectively pay more. 1 month ago, Tesla announced Model 3 standard range, the headline-grabbing $35,000 variant of Model 3, would finally enter into production. Lots of people placed orders after this, but this week, those who were expecting deliveries of their new car to start this week are reporting that Tesla is pushing back their car's delivery date by as much as 6 or 8 weeks. There's no explanation of this pushback, but it's thought that it may have something to do with Tesla focusing on getting higher spec models out before its federal tax credit drops to $1,875. Earlier this week, a rumour surfaced that the smart car's brand future might be in jeopardy as part of cost-cutting measures at Daimler. The smart car never made it any money. That was quickly crushed, however, at the end of the week when Daimler announced that it had signed an agreement with Geely to form a 50/50 owned joint venture to own, operate and further develop the smart brand. It's not clear what smart will become, but it's likely, as I noted midweek in a video, that we'll see it continue as an electric vehicle brand with some Chinese market influences. If electric car adoption rates are to continue to rise, automakers and dealerships need to engage in more buyer awareness and education. That's according to Encore Digital Media, which partnered with Savanta to survey 2,000 UK drivers on their opinions of electric cars. 4 out of 10 could name a Tesla, with BMW named as an electric car brand by just 18% of respondents. The survey also found a very large gap in knowledge concerning electric car charging infrastructure and range capabilities. It found out that those under 24 were most likely to want to buy an EV. The People's Republic of China has begun to scale back its electric car subsidies with a goal of having zero electric car incentives in the country by next year. It says this is to encourage local manufacturers to rely on innovation rather than government assistance, stating that it believes automakers have become overly reliant on government money to produce electric vehicles. It's called on local governments to also reduce their own incentives for electric car programs, forcing automakers to innovate in order to meet China's tough emissions and EV goals. Prove yourselves. That's the message from Tesla CEO Elon Musk in an email sent to all Tesla retail employees this week. Designed to assuage fears over Tesla's previous announcements that it was going to close its stores, Musk said that stores with a high visitation rate that lead to significant sales will, quote, absolutely not be closed down. Stores that have low visitation rates will be closed down, and those in the middle will, well, need to prove themselves to avoid being shut. Musk also said ordering online meant customers could order in stores on their phones, which is very different to how it was originally interpreted. BMW has released short videos of its prototype iX3, i4 and iNext electric cars undergoing winter testing as part of its continued push towards electrifying its future fleet. The videos, which I incorrectly identified as being shot north of the Arctic Circle earlier this week, show each car driving at speed on ice-covered lakes and are meant to highlight the thorough testing BMW is putting each car's power electronics and suspension systems through in frigid temperatures. Before it's even begun final stages of prototyping, Tesla appears to have made a price increase across the board for the just-revealed Tesla Model Y crossover. While those who have already put a deposit down for Model Y see the original quoted price when they check, Tesla's website has now increased the price of the long-range all-wheel drive and performance models by $1,000 each. Musk's response to the change, quote, "Every car company is constantly changing prices, but nobody cares." That may be true, but Tesla set itself up to be different from everyone else. And now it's time for short shorts. The World Meteorological Organization has issued a stark warning in its latest report about the state of the planet. It said 2018 was the fourth consecutive warmest year on record, and unless we do something drastic, we're boned completely. The Tesla Model 3 has been so popular in Europe in its first month of sales that it not only became Europe's best-selling EV for the month of February, but also became the top-selling premium midsize sedan in Europe in the same time. Interestingly, Model X and Model S sales seem to suffer too, with all of that attention focused on Model 3. Daimler Trucks has announced it will acquire a majority stake in Torque Robotics in order to further its plans to bring fully autonomous trucks to commercial reality. The deal has yet to be approved by regulators, but it's expected to go through with no problems. The Lightning Strike motorcycle has finally been revealed, with a base model price starting at just under $13,000 with a 10 kilowatt-hour battery pack. It will be the cheapest electric motorcycle out there. If you want that promised 200 miles, though, you'll need to spend $20,000. Deliveries start this summer. The Tesla Model 3 Standard Range Plus has received its official EPA rating in the US, managing 240 miles per charge at an average fuel economy of 134 mpge combined. The standard range has yet to be rated. Right-hand drive Tesla fans rejoice. A right-hand drive Tesla Model 3 prototype has been spotted testing on the roads of California. It's not clear how long it will take this car to complete validation and enter production, but the end of this year is what I'd guess. MIT, Stanford and Toyota Research Institute have unveiled a new artificial intelligence system designed to predict the useful life of lithium-ion batteries. From just a few charge-discharge cycles, it can predict within 9% how long each individual battery will last. European Tesla Model 3 owners are reporting that Tesla has pushed a new feature to their cars called dynamic brake lights. It works by pulsing brake lights as a warning for emergency braking and activates the hazard warning lights if the car comes to a complete stop. eVelocity, a company formed by former Faraday Future staff, has rebranded itself as Canoe. It says it will offer 4 different vehicles to customers, but they will not only be able to buy the car, but to only subscribe to it. It's just like you would for Netflix or Spotify. Security researchers, Team Fluorescate, walked away with a new Tesla Model 3 at the annual Pwnd hacking contest this week after they managed to access the car's firmware via a browser security exploit. I should note that Tesla gave the car to the competition, and it's been talking about swapping browsers out for a while now. Honda has showcased two electric two-wheeled concepts this week in the form of an all-electric dirt bike and an all-electric version of the Benny scooter. The Bentley Electric uses removable battery packs as first revealed in the PCX electric maxi scooter concept we saw in 2017. A South Korean supplier to Tesla has agreed to buy a former GM production facility in the country in order to start producing electric vehicles there for an unknown customer. The deal will complete on June 28th and is worth nearly $100 million. Firefighters in the Netherlands appear to have developed a unique way to put out an electric car battery fire. Dump it in a large tub of water. We saw it in action this week when a smouldering BMW i8 was dumped into a water trough and, well, it seems to have worked. New spy shots of Ford's top-secret F-150 electric pickup seem to suggest it will be the first Ford F-150 in history to get independent rear suspension. Up to this point, Ford has relied on an old-fashioned leaf spring and fixed axle arrangement, but the plug-in looks to be breaking with that tradition. BMW has announced that it will stop purchasing raw cobalt from the DRC in the next year. It's part of its goal of becoming more accountable for the source of the cobalt used in its electric car battery packs, and the switch will kick in when its fifth-generation EVs go on sale. The Mercedes-Benz Varro has long been a favourite of municipalities in Europe as a work truck, but its smelly diesel engine is anything but green. But now German company BPW has developed a conversion kit that turns the vehicle all electric with a range of 100 kilometers per day without sacrificing torque. An almost immaculate 1976 Sebring city car has been put up for sale in Ohio, USA, with just 122 miles on the clock. It comes with all of its original paperwork and can be yours for just $3,950 US. That's if you happen to be feeling nostalgic. And those are your short shorts. There will be more next week. As it prepares its Taycan for production, Porsche has been busy putting it through winter testing. And while that might not be super exciting, it has revealed something we didn't previously know, that the Porsche Taycan won't have single-pedal driving or any regenerative braking on accelerator liftoff. Instead, it'll just coast. That's according to CNET, which was one of the lucky few to be invited to experience the car firsthand. It says the production-ready cars required you to push the brake to slow, with Porsche executives stating that, quote, if the customer wants to brake, then he should hit the brake. And finally, you might not know about Harbour Air seaplanes if you're not from the Pacific Northwest, but they're actually North America's largest operator of commercial seaplanes. They also have a really cute otter mascot called Turbo, but I digress. This week, Harbour Air announced it would be working with electric aviation company Magnix to convert its entire seaplane fleet of HC2 de Havilland Beavers to fully electric operation. Test flights will begin in late 2019 and conversions will start shortly thereafter. I'm sure that's something that Turbo and every other otter can get behind. And on that note, it's the end of this week's show. Don't forget to like, comment and share and bash the notification bell to find out when a new show is uploaded. And if you'd like to support the channel, you'll find links below me to help you do just that. This year we're doing more than we've ever done before and going to more places, including Fully Charged Live in the UK and Fully Charged Live in the US. But this also increases our travel costs and overheads, so if you'd like to see us do more stuff out of this studio, please do consider helping us out. We'd really appreciate it. I'll be back soon with more news, reviews and insight for you all to enjoy, but until then, I hope you have a great weekend and don't forget to be better, kinder and smarter to one another. Keep evolving.